Welcome everyone to another lecture of botany. In the previous class, we have discussed about kingdom Monera. Now, in today's class, we will discuss about the kingdom Protista. Here in Protista, we have already discussed this, that Protista includes all unicellular eukaryotic organisms. It includes all unicellular, that is single cell unicellular eukaryotic organisms. And as we say, that is the Protista consists of, the kingdom Protista consists of eukaryotes. That means the cells will have a defined nucleus. The organisms will have defined nucleus, and along with the nucleus now other organelles will also be present. Along with the nucleus, other organelles are also present. Organelles like mitochondria, ribosomes, Golgi complex, endoplasmic reticulum, or all membrane bound organelles will be present. And here this, in the Protista, some organisms have flagella and some organisms have cilia, while some does not have any, both of them. Few have flagella for movement, few have flagella, and some of the organisms have cilia and some does not have that, both flagella or cilia. And this kingdom, that is the kingdom Protista, is, we will be studying this kingdom Protista into different groups. That is, the first is Chrysophyta, dinoflagellate, euglenoids, slime molds and protists. We will study this kingdom Protista under 5 groups. First is Chrysophyta, second is dinoflagellata, third is slime molds, fourth is here euglenoids, and the fifth one are protists. We will start with the first one, that is Chrysophyta. The organisms which belong to kingdom Chrysophyta, they are called as chrysophytes. They are called as chrysophytes, or even called as golden algae. The organisms are also called as what? Golden algae. Here the organisms in Chrysophyta, they are photosynthetic. They are photosynthetic, that is, they can produce their own food by performing photosynthesis. So, almost all the organisms which belong to this kingdom, group Chrysophyta, they are photosynthetic. They are photosynthetic. And here when they are we say that they are photosynthetic. That means they produce a large number of oxygen. When they perform photosynthesis now, they produce large number of oxygen. And they produce large number of oxygen. And the second and the most important thing here, these are called as the producers of earth. These golden algae, they are called as producers of earth in this diatoms. Example which we study now is of diatoms. In Chrysophyta, the example of the organism which we study in this Chrysophyta is diatoms. Here these are diatom, they are photosynthetic organism. Photosynthetic organism, when they perform photosynthesis, they produce oxygen. They enrich the surrounding with oxygen. And the second and important thing is, they are the producers. They are the producers. They are eaten up by other organisms in the water bodies. So they are called as producers, and they form food for other organisms. Food for other organisms. These are microscopic. As they are unicellular, then these are, this golden diatoms are microscopic unicellular, and they are aquatic in habitat, where they live in water. They are aquatic in nature. These diatoms are aquatic in nature. So here they live in water. So these diatoms can be found in marine water as well as fresh water. They are present in marine water as well as fresh water. So these organisms, that is the gold diatoms, they are microscopic and aquatic. They can be found in marine water as well as fresh water. So they produce food for the other organisms which lives in the water. So that is why they are called as the producers. They are called as the producers of the earth, and they also enrich the environment with oxygen. Now this photosynthetic protists, that is diatoms, they does not have flagella, no flagella or cilia. They does not have any flagella or cilia. They float on the water. They float on the surface of the water. We find them on the surface of the water, and they float because of the presence of oil droplets in their bodies. In the cell they have oil droplets, and because of the presence of the oil droplets, now these diatoms float on the surface of water. They move by floating. They does not have flagella or cilia. Then how they move? They move by floating on the water. So the floating on the water is because of the presence of oil droplets. Oil droplets. Now coming to the cell wall. The cell wall has deposits of silica. This for diatoms have cell wall, and the cell wall has deposits of silica. This is important here. Diatoms has cell wall which consists of deposits of silica, and this silica is very strong. It is indestructible. They have deposit, the cell wall consists of deposits of silica, and it is very strong, and that silica is, the cell wall is indestructible. Because of the presence of silica, the cell wall is indestructible. Here what happens, even after their death, the cytoplasmic content or protoplasmic content of the cell will be decomposed, but the cell wall will not decompose. Even after the death of these organisms or diatoms, for example, if I take this is a diatom, the shape one of a diatom. Now here inside this now protoplasmic content will be present. So when these organisms die now, this protoplasmic content will get decomposed, but these walls will not get decomposed. The cell wall will not get decomposed. It will be like that only. So why they are decomposed? Because of the presence of silica. Because of the presence of silica. That is why the cell wall is indestructible. The cell wall is indestructible. Now after structure, coming to the shape, diatoms are found in two shapes. Two shapes. First is pinnate and the second is centric. Diatoms are found in two shapes, that is pinnate and centric. Pinnate in the sense there is a rectangular shape. Diatoms, based on the shape, they are of two types. One is rectangular and another is circular. Rectangular and circular. The rectangular diatoms, they are called as pinnate organisms, and the circular ones, they are centric. The circular ones are centric. Here this rectangular shape diatoms resembles to that of soap box. Rectangular diatoms or the pinnate diatoms, they resemble to that of the soap box, and this centric diatoms or which circular diatoms, they resemble to that of Petri dish. They resemble to that of Petri dish. So based on the shapes, diatoms are of two types. Rectangular shape, then they are called as pinnate, and circular shape, they are called as centric. Circular shape resembles to that of a Petri dish. Rectangular, they resemble to that of a soap box. And here pinnate diatoms show bilateral symmetry. So they can be cut into two equal halves. They can be cut into two equal halves. And here this centric organism, centric diatoms, they show radial symmetry. They show radial symmetry. Now coming to this, I said you this one. If it is a rectangular box, what will be? It might be this shape. This is, it consists of this two layers. Cell wall has this two layer. This is the upper one and this is the lower one. This is the upper one and this is the lower one. And this red ones, this is the connecting link between the upper cell wall and the lower one. Upper case and the lower case has some connecting link. Now inside this protoplasmic material will be present. Protoplasmic material will be present. So this is the example of this rectangular. What I have drawn is rectangular, that is pinnate. So one will be bigger one, the upper one will be the bigger one and the lower one will be, the lower case will be that, it will be smaller. The upper and the bigger case, that is, it consists of it consists of two layers, the upper and the lower, and this upper and lower is connected with a connecting link. So the upper one will be bigger one, that is called as epitheca. The upper case in rectangular soap box, that is two layers will be present. The upper layer will be bigger in shape, bigger in size. Then that bigger size upper shell is called as what? Epitheca. And the smaller one, the lower and the smaller one is called as the hypotheca. Each rectangular box consists of two cases, upper case and the lower case. The upper case is the bigger one, that is called as epitheca, and the lower case is the small one, that is called as hypotheca. So this is hypotheca, and on hypotheca we have this epitheca. The lower one is hypotheca, smaller one, and on that smaller one, bigger case will be present, that is called as epitheca. So as they have two halves, this is the upper half and this is the lower half. As they have two halves, that is why the name is given as diatoms. Di means two. Diatom consists of two halves. The body of diatom consists of two halves, that is upper and lower. Here inside their body is inside the cell. Inside the cell, reserve food material will be present. Oil droplets will be present as well as reserve food material will be present. Along with all this organelles and protoplasmic content, here along with the protoplasmic content, it also have oil droplets and it also have here volutin granules, that is reserve food material in the form of volutin granules and polysaccharides. These diatoms along with the protoplasmic content, it also consists of oil droplets which helps them to float on the water, and by floating they will be moving, and apart from those oil droplets they also have volutin granules as well as polysaccharides as reserve food material, Here one important point in this, these diatoms helps in the formation of diatomaceous earth. Diatoms helps in the formation of diatomaceous earth. Here, as I already said you, cell wall has deposits of silica. Cell wall has deposits of silica. For example, this is the surface. Okay, water surface. Diatoms are present over here. So when they die now, they go to the bottom. They go to the bottom of this water body, and they get deposited here. Now the protoplasmic content will be decomposed, but the cell wall will be as it is. The protoplasmic content inside the content inside will be decomposed, but these two halves, these two walls will be as it is. Okay. Now here one like this, many diatoms when they die now, they come to the bottom. Inside here this material, protoplasmic material will be decomposed. Then here the cell wall will be as it is. Now coming to the next one, they form like this. Next diatom which die, come and gather, come and gather. So like this one, they will be forming mass of cell wall which consists of silica. So this one is called as diatomaceous earth. This one is called as diatomaceous earth. Now uses, here these diatomaceous earth or this golden algae, they are used in making insulating bricks. They are used in making insulating bricks because of this presence of silica. Because of the presence of silica here, they are used in making insulating bricks. They are also used as abrasives. They also used as abrasives, and they are of ornamental appearance. They are of ornamental appearance. They look beautiful like this. They will be looking beautiful, decorative. They will be showing a decorative appearance. Wherever these diatoms are present now, they will be showing a decorative appearance, and because of this decorative appearance is because of the deposition of silica, and because of the decorative appearance they are called as the jewels of earth. They are called as jewels of earth. So these diatoms are used in making insulating bricks. They also are used as abrasives, and they are they are ornamental in appearance, decorative in appearance, and because of their decorative appearance, wherever they are present, they will be appearing a presentable, decorative. Because of that decorative appearance, they are called as jewels of earth. They are called as jewels of earth. So this here, and this reproduction in this diatoms is by vegetative reproduction and by sexual reproduction. Diatoms reproduce by either by vegetative method or either by sexual method. This was about this group Chrysophyte, that is they are called as golden algae. Example of the organism which we study in this Chrysophyta is diatoms. These diatoms are photosynthetic. They are called as the producers of the earth. They produce food as well as they produce oxygen. They are microscopic and aquatic. They can live both in fresh water as well as marine water. They does not have flagella or cilia. The movement of these diatoms is by floating on the water, and that floating is done by the oil droplet, because of the oil droplets. Coming to the structure, cell wall have silica deposits, no flagella, no cilia, and because of the cell wall, the cell wall is having two halves, that is the two halves, the upper half is called as the epitheca and the lower half is called as the hypotheca. It resembles to that, it has two shapes. These diatoms can be found in two shapes. One is circular shape, that is centric, and another is rectangular, that is pinnate. They are helping in the formation of diatomaceous earth. They help in the formation of diatomaceous earth, and they reproduce either by vegetative reproduction or by sexual reproduction. Next class we will discuss another group, that is dinoflagellates.